Well, there's a Sanskrit word, tatyata, which means the big yes, the total yes, the yes that has no inside of that yes. And how I've seen this yes in terms of Tantra has been, it's the yes to existence itself as existence is. It doesn't mean that you don't say no to your mom when she tells you you're going to sell yourself short because you're having sex out of marriage. So there are no's to the mind and to the mind demands and the way that the culture lives. There's many no's. It's a great unlearning Tantra, actually. So you're really saying no to all the false learning you've had. But in saying no to the false, you're saying yes to the truth. You're saying yes to life as it is. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for finding the yes to life as it is in the fullness and in the bliss of existence, not so much of what our mind expects.
If you look at Tantra, you'll find, sure, we have scripture, we have holy books, we have philosophy, but not a lot. And we're not heavy on it. And what we have of it, especially the philosophy end, is, you could say, pretty unarguable. We could say we stick to the basics. And the most basic is all existence, all that there is, your experience of it, that which experiences it and all, is one, and is what in mystical traditions we call God. That oneness. Now, if all is one, every aspect of your experience, every thought that passes through your brain, every emotion that you experience, is also part of that oneness. Even your despair and your struggle and your looking for answers and so on is itself part of that oneness. And it's in the understanding of that that Tantra works. As you said, the culture is full of ideas, and the standard big religions all have a whole philosophy, a whole lot of stuff, nothing to do with reality, all to do with mind, associations with that, and so on. And you could say that's stuff that's cluttered up the brain, and in that case Tantra is all about brainwashing in a way, washing it clean, washing these false assumptions out. And false assumptions or true assumptions, who cares? It's an assumption. Get rid of it and approach existence directly. That's really the point of Tantra. Saying yes to the no is not going, oh, I don't want to give him the cake, and saying no and take the cake away from him. Saying yes to the no is there in me as a no. It's an objection. I'm doing this thing, I don't know if I want to do this thing. An objection to doing it. Well, okay, so then saying yes to that is I accept I'm in objection to it. And I look, what's my objection? And I go through my feelings of that. And I find out for myself, perhaps, who knows what the truth of that is? The truth of that could maybe be that it looks like the friend is more loved than I am. Or maybe the truth of it, bottom line, is the friend's getting that piece of the cake. Okay. And everything I feel about that, and everything that I have as a reaction to that, that's my experience. And that's what I need to submit to. Not submit to in the sense of, I've always got to give my cake away. But submit to in the sense of, that is how I feel. That is what's happening in me and for me. Not insisting, the universe should, something should happen because of this, that I feel this way. But I do feel this way. That if I feel a sadness, I go in and I greet and I take time with that sadness. I'm not going, no. and objecting. It's saying yes to what is true for you.
If there's any type of program, it's very much what's going to meet that individual where they are in their awareness right now. Yeah?
When I've faced this question most often of what's the program or the path, it was at first when someone had worked with me for a few months and she said to me, but what's next now? And I said, I don't know, we'll see. And she said, no, but don't kid me around, what's next? I said, well, what gives you the idea that, I know what's next? I mean, she says, well, it's been very clear all the time you've been working with me. I had to face this, I had to face that, I had to look at this, and this awareness had to come before that awareness. This logjam had to clear in my consciousness before my awareness would flow there, that I could see this. And you've been very direct and exact with how you've worked with me all the way along. And I said, yes, but that's just that I'm working responsively with you, with what's needed now. And I'm just part of existence, and that's existence relating to you and working with you, playing off this.
It's a very responsive way of learning.
Yeah. And then with that, but how to say, from the student's end, it can really look very much like, boy, here's a regimented program. And then now, of course, having worked with a few people, we've seen over time how there are certain there are certain common things, not so much common, but usual things that we go through. And it's not so much about a linearity, or here's the root and there's the answer. It's more a jigsaw pattern in terms of getting yourself available, getting yourself into, you could say, good spiritual shape. The traditional, really, 3 yogas of body and mind training, body training, mind training, and higher philosophy. That's some work, some getting into touch of the experience, the reality of the body.
That's always where I begin. I begin with the body.
That's necessary, how to say.
Staple,
and it is a foundation for much other work.
It's like the staple food, really. You have to begin with the body. Where aren't you feeling? Where's the armoring happening in the body? Increasing the sensing, the perception.
Right. And more than that, like if the body's unfit and unhealthy, it needs to eat well and exercise.
Tai Chi, yoga.
Yeah.
I mean, things that seem really obvious, getting to your body, getting to your living. But for many people, it's not very obvious. So you start with the very, very obvious. Diet, body, perception.